moving from untruth to truth, who are you empowering? You ego identification or you divine presence? And it's so subtle that most people miss it. Ab initio is the fear of death. This is the biggest fear to overcome for human beings. When you free yourself from fear of death, you're free from everything. It is. And a lot of people are unconsciously fear death, especially as they get older or they get more vulnerable or they have had different experiences with their health. So what are the three key elements from moving from untruth to truth to the true eternal immortal self? From untruth to truth, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Ma Sadgamaya, Rityoma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya, Rityoma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. I'll chant it for a second. Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya, Rityoma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I switched to my head voice, but oh my Creator, Om, oh my Creator, free me from, or free us from the unreal, from the unreality of this ephemeral world of physicality, and lead us towards liberation, lead us into the real of the eternal self. That is the true meaning of untruth to truth, moving from untruth to truth, and darkness to light is, oh my Creator, lead us, free us from the unreal of the bondage of darkness, and lead us into the real of the true light, of spiritual knowledge, of the true self, and insight and enlightenment. And the last verse is, from ignorance to enlightenment, oh my Creator, please free us, lead us away from the unreal of this world, the fear of death, and to be caught into the world of duality that is so ephemeral, and bring us into the eternal freedom, away from that ab initio, which is known to be, according to Patanjali, ab initio is the fear of death. This is the biggest fear to overcome for human beings. When you free yourself from fear of death, you're free from everything. It is. And a lot of people are unconsciously fear death, especially as they get older or they get more vulnerable or they have had different experiences with their health. So what are the three key elements from moving from untruth to truth to the true eternal immortal self? Well, the first one, I'm sure some of you have guessed it already, is to move away from a false sense of self. The false sense of self comes from ego, and it's very strong. It can really fool you, and it's so subtle that you can't even see it often. But what most people miss with that is when you walk away from the false sense of self, it's a dismantling, it's a demolishing. I laugh because it's such a blessing, and most people don't see it, because spiritual awakening, spiritual journey as it's up and down, and when you really go down, you guarantee you're going to go up, because everything that goes down will come up. And so you should never be worried, because it's actually a blessing. Is that you can look at it and say, God, I am freeing myself. I'm really moving from untruth to truth. So if you look at this ancient mantra, from untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment, it's really your guide. You could say it will guide your own inner guru on a moment to moment, because you can stop and take a deep breath and reconnect with your own divinity within. You could call it divinity, you could call it your true divine presence, or even your own inner guru. But often the inner guru is not awakened fully yet at this point. But you can ask yourself that first question, because this is the first phenomenal step on the spiritual path. And some sincere seeker can linger many lives. This is not a joke. This is actually a very sad story, but it is so beautiful. I was reflecting on it this afternoon, and I was sobbing, because I have seen it when I was fully involved in the animal rights movement, and I'm be going back very soon. Prior, I was diagnosed with advanced breast cancer. I was very involved there as a spiritual teacher, and I was speaking at the conference, at the national conference, and I even led meditation there. That was when I was in my 40s. And I have met some amazing people coming to the movement, because when the Anahata start opening, the heart chakra, you start experiencing life at a different level. So Pierre, he was a Frenchman, and he was working in farm factory. And for most of his life, he grew up, and what he saw, he was involved in bringing the animal to the slaughterhouse. And I don't know if some of you know, but it's not a pretty picture. I mean, the way they slaughter the animal, some of them are still conscious, and they scream, they fear, they have emotion. And he witnessed a lot of pretty ugly things, very painful. And he was a big meat eater. And he was married. And he grew up in a French family, so he ate a lot of French food, and it was natural. It was his conditioning, it was his karma. It's not a value judgment here, it's just his life story. Everyone has a different life story. And one little cow came to him, and she was going to pass by. She was going straight to the slaughtering, and she just stopped and looked straight at his eyes, and tears start falling down. And something magical happened. He stopped, and that cow just took his breath away. And just the Divine Mother opened up his heart. And something happened. When he saw that little cow, he fell madly in love with her. And for some reason, he felt propelled. He wanted to go take her. He didn't want her to go. She was so beautiful. She was a divine cow, like all cow are. But he had an epiphany. When he saw the tear in the cow and the light shining through his eyes, he was so moved by it. And then somehow he asked himself, God, is there a way if my boss doesn't see me? I'm going to stick that cow out. I'm going to bring her home. And he was unable. it was too fast, and he heard her screaming, and it was pretty ugly. He went back home that night. He sat down, and his wife served him a steak au poivre, and with French fries, garlic French fries. And he sat there and he couldn't eat. And his wife said in French, "Mon amour, pourquoi? Mange, mon chéri d'amour." And he didn't want to. He felt his heart like he had never experienced what he was experiencing. And he pushed this away, and he just walked away, and he said, "I need to be alone." And he went into the bedroom and closed the door, and he started weeping and weeping and weeping. And he certainly started awakening, and he started seeing all the animals, the pigs, the cow, all of them being slaughtered and suffering, and his heart was stretched, torn apart, and he was feeling excruciating pain. And he was like looking back at his life, and everything he had repressed just came out in a fury. And a huge amount of divine love was flowing in his heart, and compassion, and suddenly was huge amount of Maha Karuna, great compassion. And he was sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. His wife could not understand what was going on with him, and he fell asleep sobbing. He was so overwhelmed that following morning he couldn't get up. He did not want to go to work. And then he said, "Okay, I'm going to go, but I'm going only to give my resignation." He went back there, gave his resignation, became a vegan, and started to be a voice for the voiceless, and joined the animal rights movement. And this person today is fully active, has saved millions of animals from great suffering. Now, that's an incredible story. I have seen people from the other side who have huge awakening, and they see that their soul and their spirit's telling, "You got to make the shift, man." You got to move closer to the truth, because what is being done in farm factory to the animal is unspeakable, and it's just not human. And if you come to the depth of that awareness and the depth of consciousness that enhance the perception, then you'll do the right thing. And this is how subtle it is. Okay? So you look at your plate, what you put in your plate, you ask yourself that question: am I moving from untruth to truth? If you know the cruelty involved in animal, anything, not just that, it can be so many other industry. I'm giving you an example that is very drastic, but it's such an incredible story and so beautiful, because that is how subtle it is to move from untruth to truth. This is the enhancement of perception of through the depth of awareness. How am I walking? Am I contributing to someone else living being suffering? Am I contributing to someone else living misery and pain? How can I move forward from closer to the absolute truth? And this being realized also that all the grains that are being fed to the animal in farm factory, they could be fed for all the little children starving in the third world, in developing country. But talk about a metamorphosis. And he embarked on the spiritual path. And that is really walking the path. To have that humbleness to really look at your life and ask those big questions, it requires incredible self-introspection incredible humbleness, and empowering your divine presence to ask those deep questions. Am I moving or am I just stagnant? Because like I said, you could spend your whole many lifetime just stuck in that first verse and never really truly move further. Because this is how deep it is. I'll give you another example. We don't need to go into a long story, but another how subtle it is. In relationship, love, that's a big one. Are you enslaved in a relationship because of codependency, because of entanglement, or are you truly in love? Are you really, really in love with this person unconditionally? Are you moving towards true divine love? That to bring that love and expand it to all living beings, or are you in a relationship because it suits your need and your wants? It's subtle. It takes courage to look deep, or even in a relationship with a friend, the same thing. Is that a healthy relationship? Am I in that relationship because it suits my needs and my wants? But that's not moving towards true unconditional love, because the ultimate purpose of enlightenment is to experience your true divine presence. And your true divine presence is experiencing Satcitananda. Satcitananda, you already know what it is, but for some people online who might not know, comes from Sanskrit. It means Sat. It means absolute truth, that is omnipotent, omnipresent, unchanging, permanent, Chit. That's what it is, omnipotent, omnipresent. And Ananda, bliss. Bliss not from outside because it gives you joy, but it's self-generated from your own intoxication, in ecstasy. But the reality, what most people don't know, is Satchitananda is divine love. Yogananda was probably the first master, but I'm sure there were others who said that probably thousands of years ago in Sanskrit. I wasn't there. I was not in this physical realm. But to the best of my knowledge, in this lifetime, Yogananda probably was the first one to quote that, because I hear other masters says, no, divine love does not exist. I will tell you it does exist. Okay? I will tell you, I breathe divine love. I am divine love. And so my wish and my blessing for you, beloved, is that you experience that and you know what it is. And Yogananda said one drop of Amrita, which is divine love, will leave you intoxicated. And divine love, it's not a romance with another being. It's a romance with the divine. It's to see the divine everywhere. And it's not an intellectual thing, it's an experiential thing, and it's real. And so don't let anyone tell you otherwise, that divine love does not exist. It takes, you know why there is a big debate with divine love? Is because those people who talk about it, they don't have devotion in their heart. If they have devotion in their heart, they will know what is divine love. Because when you have devotion in your heart, you are guaranteed you're going to experience divine love at one point or another. The level of your devotion will determine your level of intoxication. And so it's the opposite. How open, how receptive you are, how madly in love you are with the divine and willing to experience it. It's here. And Yogananda, he talked about that, and he said, his quote was, one drop of it will leave you intoxicated. I tell you, I've experienced that many, many, many times. And there's different level because they will take you into different kind of samadhi. And we talk about all this last satsang. Remember, beloved, we talk about all the different level of samadhi. So those are the three key elements of moving from untruth to truth.